this as a guideline. And we say that the thought of the system, so the system of creation, the first step is thought. If I'm to change what I'm doing, change my paradigm, change my mind, the first thing I need to change is my thought. See, if I give myself a good thought, what's a good thought? It's any thought that you would imagine in which you feel good about it. You like the experience. You like the thought of the experience. So you can say, oh, trip. I want a trip. Okay. That's a good thought to have. You want to go on a trip or a vacation. That's a good thought. Now, you see, there's going to be opposing forces for that. So that thought is a suggestion for you. You don't have to believe that. You don't have to think it. You don't have to accept it as something that you want to do. But if you do take that suggestion and you take trip or vacation, you put it into your imagination, you went check and check. It's in your imagination now. Now you begin to imagine the trip and imagine the vacation. That means that you're now seeing yourself either on a plane or you see yourself packing to go, buying tickets, looking at pictures and videos of your trip that's upcoming, so on and so forth. So you're going to go from thought to imagination. And then from there, you're going to go to your heart. It'll drop into your heart. Only these things can drop into your heart. You have to imagine those things first. There's nothing that got into your heart without the imagination getting involved. The imagination part of this entire system is Christ himself. The imagination is Christ himself. So if you believe that you can go from thought to belief in words and actions without Christ, without imagination, you're mistaken. That's the part that everyone's missing. They're not going through Christ. That's your imagination. So he will draw the picture for you. He will make it clear for you and make it plain. But if you leave him out, you're left trying to believe something that has not been imagined or something that has not gone through Christ. So those are the things that is impossible for you to believe. You cannot believe without imagination. Try it. Other than that, it's called trust. It's just, okay, I don't believe you could do it, but I'm going to trust that you can. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I trust that you can some way, somehow. But this step, okay, Christ, cornerstone. That the builders rejected. So they're rejecting this cornerstone, which happens to be Christ, which happens to be my imagination. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody know what I'm talking about out there. If you reject the cornerstone, and you'll find out that it's Christ that you were rejecting, then you later find out that that was actually my imagination that I was rejecting. I was rejecting the images of the thought. These two have to go together. One is positives and negatives, or the developed and your negative. You're going to have the thought and the imagination. It's going to bring it to life, which is going to now you have something to go into your heart.
What do you mean by developed and imagination, or negative?
So thought and imagination, they're two sides of the same coin, right? So you have your thought, you have the negatives of the negatives.
Like a picture?
Like a picture. The negatives of the negatives. Because this whole thing is in spirit form right now. Everything except for number 5. It's all in spirit. Except for the fact that you're going to imagine number 5 in step number 2. You're going to imagine your actions back here in step 2. It's only those actions that you imagine that you're actually going to be doing. Those situations are actually going to come into your life, and you'll be able to go to step 3, which is heart. And once it's in your heart, that's where man believes. That's where woman believes. That's where mankind believes, is right here in the heart. But see, we're trying to believe stuff without that. You see, we want to believe better, but we won't imagine it. We won't accept that suggestion of thought. That's a higher thought. That's a better thought. That's a good thought for us to be able to believe it. Anything you want to believe, you have to imagine. If you want to imagine, you have to think it.
They can't skip that.
Can't skip that step. Thank you. Can't skip that step. This is the cornerstone. This step is the cornerstone. They're trying to go step 1, 3, 4, 5. So then you have our Christians who are walking around. They want to believe certain things, but they can't believe it. Why? Because they won't go through Christ. They know they need the thought. They know they need the heart to believe. So they're trying to force the heart to believe something that it won't. The imagination helps you to believe what you don't currently believe. Once it gets to step 3, and those things that you are believing, the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So now you're going to go from here, believing, to speaking. You still don't see the physical manifestation yet because it's still going through the system of creation. You see? You have to go through the system of creation. So once you start speaking about it, the things that mean something to you, or if you have a cause, David says, is there not a cause to go and whoop Goliath for me to fight? Is there not a cause? So you're going to start speaking from the abundance of your heart. Believe me, those words are faith-filled words. Words that go through this system of thought, imagination, believing in the heart, and now those words you're speaking are faith-filled words. So there's a difference between just speaking something that you want to happen and not running it through this system. And then all of a sudden you're surprised that it doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work when you just decide to say, money come right now, because you haven't given it step 1, step 2, or step 3. You skipped all that and started speaking. Now tell me if I'm wrong, anybody. If I'm lying, I still ain't dying. But I'm speaking the truth. And this is the awareness that I'm bringing to all of you, and we're trying to get this to be a new consciousness in the hearts and minds of people, where we can actually evolve to a higher level, to a higher species, more evolved species, by doing this and knowing, because we're doing it anyways. We're doing it anyways, We just don't know we're doing it. We just don't know we're doing it. That's what's killing us. The Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Knowledge is awareness. Okay? Knowledge equals awareness. Awareness equals knowledge. So my people perish for a lack of awareness of this system that's working in you right now with everything that you do. Everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you think, everything that you believe that you have and that you believe that you can do comes from this system. From doing these very things that I'm showing you right now. You don't have the awareness that you're doing it. So I'm bringing that awareness to you right now. Why? So that you can now start plugging in the things that you want to be your thought, and then imagining them. And this way, those can fall into your heart where you do believe them, where that will produce words, and then guess what? Rest of 5. Actions. And so now the very actions or the steps that need to be taken either through you or through somebody else, doesn't make any difference. It's going to be performed for you. If you do this, after you've done this, and this will lead to what? The physical manifestation of what? Steps 1 and 2. You see? It's the awareness that's missing. We know how to use it. We just don't know that we're using it. And this system of creation is the kingdom of God. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Let's just call a spade a spade. Jesus said, thy kingdom come and thy will be done. Thy kingdom is the system of creation. The way that God the Father creates is what he wants to come to all of us. The awareness and the knowledge of him. All right, you guys? So all I'm trying to say is that you're already doing it. You just don't know that you're doing it. This is Christ in you, right here. This is the entire kingdom of God right here. On my napkin, on my business plan napkin. You see that? I don't need any fancy equipment. I can just show you on my napkin to give you the awareness. I'm transferring that awareness from inside of me to inside of you. All right? So look, you guys, if you want to know more about this, I'm available to come and speak to your group, speak to your church, speak to your conference. If you want to know more about this system of creation that's actually in you and works through you with everything that you do, every car you bought, every house that you bought, every good situation, every bad situation came through this very system. It's the awareness of the actual system. You are operating the system. You're operating the kingdom right here. Every day, every second of every single day, you have thousands of thoughts that come in as suggested thoughts. Of the ones that you receive and accept, they get imagined. Of those that get imagined, they drop into your heart. Of those that drop into your heart, they form words. Don't believe me? Take a look at your bank account and see if you don't have any money in there. Boom, thought. Next is imagination. Now you believing it in your heart and feeling crappy about it. Now you start talking crappy about it. Next thing you know, you're doing things that's keeping it that way. Does this make sense to anybody? I'm not crazy, right? Does this not happen in every situation in life?
Yeah.
So, is this in stone? Meaning, the moving parts, meaning I put Trip here, but could I have very easily put money there? Is this not plug and play? Meaning, whatever I need at the moment, can I not just say, okay, I'm going to put that in the system? Think money. Okay, more money, right? More money. More money. Put it in the system. If you need it, put it in the system. Think it. Imagine it. Imagine what? More money, that you have it. And what are you doing when you have it? While you're having it, what are you doing with the money? What are you spending it on? What are you doing with it? Think about it. Let it go to your imagination. Let Christ, the cornerstone, draw that picture for you. From there, that thought of the imagination of having more money drops into your heart. The next thing you're going to do from there, you're going to start talking about it. You're going to start feeling like you got money, feel like your account's not low, feeling like you're rich. You're full of abundance, So the next thing you're going to do after you start talking, believe me, the things that you need to do or somebody else needs to do to bring steps 1 and 2 to you will happen. Anything. Okay. I'll give you one more example. Thought. Sick. You can have a thought where you're sick. Next thing you know, that thought of being sick goes into your imagination. It goes into the cornerstone, into the Christ center of your imagination, which you are now going to what? Believe what? Believe what? That you're sick. Now you start talking about how sick you are, coughing all over the place, tell everybody, oh, I wish I could just get over this, whatever I got. You know, the next thing that's going to happen, action's going to bring it to you. All this happens before you actually get sick. All right, you guys? So you can book me. I'll put my contact information, and I'll leave my contact information on the website. And I guarantee that I'll get back to you. The pricing is negotiable. We can talk, you know. But this is the main thing that I want to get out to you is that this awareness needs to be taught. This awareness needs to be brought to the masses. So if anyone wants to help me bring it to the masses, come on and help me bring it to the masses. If you want me to teach it to your congregation or to your conference or to your meeting, let me know. I'm here. And we'll make sure that we get your people in line with the system of creation, knowing what's actually making things for them in their life. Because your life is 100% predictable based on what you put into the system. Okay? Any questions? No? All right. Well, we're going to close it up and wrap up for today. We appreciate you all for coming out today. And no, I don't validate parking, but you know, hey, Uber next time. All right. So this is Eric Clayton, and I just want everyone to number one, you can email me at officialeric1111@gmail.com. Thank you all. God bless you.